What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is? It's MightyFan time. I know Ball Track used that line. Actually, got my voice and did that line for the front of one of his latest videos. So. Good stuff, Ball Track. Thanks for the homage there. Thanks for the homage. Anyway, hope all is going well for all my subscribers and fellow Jersey heads and friends and family. Of course, you know, we all know what happened last night with the Eagles, so I'm not going to go into it too much. 34-14, lost in the wild card game, playoff, but season's over, no Super Bowl again. I know WMG Man 52 and all the other Dallas fans are all happy, but you know what? As an Eagles fan, losing Dallas 3 times a year is unacceptable. And Eagles, you're gonna have to make some big moves in the offseason. They gotta get better. You know, they gotta get better. I get that darn trophy. I just want one. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to go over my 10-minute limit just on the Eagles. Anyhow, I know that Resurrection put out a video not long ago, maybe a couple days ago or something, on the man behind the throwback jerseys. And it's about, you know, his other interests, and I thought it was a really cool idea. I know he had that challenge for us some time back about telling a little more about yourself, and I at the time was starting to think about making a video for some of my other interests and stuff, and once I saw Rez's video there, it kind of gave me the kick in the butt that I needed to get it done. So big shout out to you, Rez, and props to you for that. You made a great video. I look forward to seeing the rest of you know, your series there. So without further ado, here's mine. I'll start off by saying I love playing sports video games, baseball, basketball, hockey, and of course Madden. I'm a pretty big Madden player, not an expert, so I know the next question, do you play online? No, well, I don't have an Xbox, so I got the PS2, I play on that. I got the PSP, I play on that. But I have some friends of mine have the Xbox, and we have our own little league. There's the 4 of us, and we all took a team from the NFC and a team from the AFC, and you know, we go through seasons with those teams. And of course, it's the same season, so if during the course of that, we're all in different divisions, but if we play one another in the regular season, we play against one another, and of course in the playoffs. Playoffs. And it's a lot of fun. And I control the Steelers in the AFC and the Cardinals in the NFC. Why not the Eagles, you say? Because I'm the Eagles all the time at home. So I took another team. And it's nice to throw the ball. It's nice to throw the ball to Larry Fitzgerald. You know, and it's pretty cool. I nicknamed him Moneymaker in the game because he always makes the money catches. You know, so every time he makes a big catch, I go Moneymaker. But it's just a thing. It's just a lot of fun, and we have a great time with it. Now we're in the off-season mode. You know, we're making free agent stuff, and you know, of course, the draft is coming up, so it's just a lot of fun. The thing I love about Madden is it's so realistic. You do so many things that you can do that the NFL does. You know, the teams in the NFL, so it's pretty cool. I have played in Madden tournaments, and I got my butt handed to me every time. There's no beating some of these people. I mean, forget it for me. So, but I did it for fun, and you know what? The people who earned the victories got them. Believe me. And these guys play it like 24 hours a day. Forget about trying to beat some of these guys. But I just play for fun, you know. But anyway, so that's one of my interests, and of course, the next interest, as you all should know by now, I know. That's right, I represent. I'm a big fan of him. I've been a fan of him since I was like 7 or 8. The next video you're going to see is the long-awaited collection. I promised that I'd film the Mighty collection at some point. I did earlier today when the lighting was better, down where I keep the collection. So you'll be seeing that next. But I've been a fan since I was 7. I grew up on the Ralph Bakshi New Adventures of Mighty Mouse series of 1987 and to about 1989. But Mighty has been around since 1942. I know. He's almost 70 years old. Been around for almost 70 years, I should say. And he was created by Paul Terry and Terry Toons. back in 1942. So he's not a Disney character. He's not a Warner Brother character. He's not even Hanna-Barbera. He is a Terry Toon. His licensing is currently owned by Viacom. It's by Paramount. So there you go. So come on, Viacom, make that movie. Let's go. Let's go. But I've collected him since about 1993. And I have, in the collection, I own about 500 plus pieces. Now that includes comic books. I own over 200 comic books, including his first, Terry Toons number 38 from 1945. I also own, he was also in the world's first 3D comic book in 1953. I have that. I have that set. It's about a 3 or 4 issue set. So he's been in comic books quite a long time, mainly in the 40s to about the 60s. And then he had another run in the 70s, 80s, and of course the early 90s was his last series, which was about a 10-issue series from Marvel. And I know the writer from that series, Michael Gallagher. So if Michael ever watches this, hi Michael. But no, so I've been collecting him an awful long time. I was on a collector show on HGTV called Ultimate Collectors back in 2003. They came to my house, they filmed the collection, they interviewed me, they had the hot lights on me. But they interviewed me, and it was a lot of fun. It was my 15 minutes, and you know what? It was great. It was a ton of fun. So yeah, so I have a rather large collection. What I like about my collection is it encompasses his whole history. I mean, there's items from each of his decades of existence, from the 1940s up until current time. You can call me a fanboy or whatever. I don't care. I mean, I'm a fan. I've always been a fan of Mighty. He always made me happy. I mean, no matter what mood I was in when I was young. I always look forward to the Saturday morning cartoon, and you know, there it is. So, I used to go all over the place to find stuff, comic conventions, flea markets. I mean, you name it, I went there, and you know, you'd be amazed the places I found some of his stuff that I own as part of the collection. I do still go to a big convention every year. It's Wizard World. It's in Philadelphia. It comes to Philadelphia. It's a traveling convention. I go with a buddy of mine. We have a ton of fun. Don't usually find too much Mighty, but you know, I just go to have a good time and to represent. Everybody else is wearing Superman, Batman, or whatever. They know what time it is. So it's just a ton of fun. I stopped collecting real hard some years back. It got to the point where, I mean, it took me 20 minutes once to figure out where to put a keychain. And when it got to that point, I figured, okay, I think I've reached what I wanted to do, and I got more into collecting the throwback jerseys. It's not to say that I won't still get an occasional item from Mighty, which I have from time to time, including this just came out, and I recommend this. Put on your Netflix or Blockbuster queues, or just go out and get it. Here it is. This is a series I grew up on. The 1987 and 1989 Ralph Bakshi Mighty Mouse New Adventure series. Just came on DVD this past Tuesday, so I ran out to Blockbuster and got it. Once I found out it was being made. It was coming out, I should say. It's a free DVD set, has this whole history, all the episodes of the series, and it also has a nice making of kind of documentary in the third DVD in the set. And there's interviews with Ralph Bakshi and John Kay and some other people involved with the making of this series. It was a awesome series. It's a satire-esque series. It just made fun of everything. I mean, if you like cartoons of today, this kind of was the launching pad for a lot of those cartoons, like The Simpsons, Family Guy, all that stuff that you see today. This kind of came because the animation was so different in this series than the other stuff that was going on at the time, and it just made fun of everything. It lambasted everything. Pop culture, other cartoons, even the old Terry Toons. It really just whatever you name it, it made fun of it. So mostly adults watched this back in the day, which is one of the reasons it didn't last too long on Saturday mornings, unfortunately. It's all about time. But if you like Ren and Stimpy, same animation team did Ren and Stimpy, did the Bakshi Mighty series before, and John Kay, who did Ren and Stimpy, worked on the Bakshi series, Mighty Mouse series. So a lot of these guys got kind of their start doing that series, and they went off to do all sorts of stuff. One of the guys from The Simpsons worked on that series first, so there you go. An historic series in animation. So yeah, I would recommend it, certainly, to anyone. But yeah, that's MightyFan's recommendation to you. But without further ado, the next video you're going to see is the collection. So enjoy it. Hope you all enjoy this. I hope I don't bore anybody. So there you go. So without further ado, my next video I present to you my Mighty Mouse collection. Enjoy it. And this is MightyFan's. Peace. Bye.